I would love to be able to do that. But I think, to be totally honest, the whole kind of all-round well-being thing, you have to kind of have a good diet. And I mean, the changes I've noticed, not necessarily in terms of weight loss, but just in terms of how I feel and how well my body functions from eating better and just getting more exercise has just been huge. I think even no matter what size you are, if you're eating, processed foods and smoking and drinking and everything, you probably do need to address it. And you will notice a difference, no matter how big you are.
When you're very heavy, as you were at 21 stone, it can be very dispiriting in a way. You can think, well, I'm helpless. I'll never get to a normal weight. So how did you make the first steps in cutting down on your weight?
Well, I remember when I first, I'd moved to an area near a gym. I'd actually moved there because it was full of takeaways on the road.
Where was that?
Sharp. It's in Worcester. I live above a curry house even now.
Right, okay.
So that was the plan.
Seriously, you sighted yourself near fast food?
I did, because I was on crutches at that point, and I used to just find it such a struggle to cook and to make time to kind of, try and stand in the kitchen for long enough to prepare a meal even. I just thought it's easier to be opposite the chippy. But I walked into the gym and I was kind of hoping that they'd, go, no, go home. But they didn't. And I had a consultation with Matt, who I mentioned earlier. And his program is basically that you walk. Is the main component of it, and you have to keep your heart rate between 115 and 130 BPM, and that's combined with some resistance training, which stimulates the muscle, and it sort of just kind of dropped off, really. I didn't expect it to, because I just thought it's walking, but it was the only thing I could do. As it turns out, it's still what I'm doing now.
So lots of walking and diet as well, because you talked about all those student-y takeaway pizzas.
Yes, and one of the things I talk about on my blog quite a lot is the fact that I did actually, it's been 2 years it's taken me to lose this much weight, but I had 9 months where I kind of went off the wagon in that 2 years. Because when I first started out, I was eating a lot of, like Weight Watchers, ready meals, diet food. And actually, it's so full of sugar and additives and all sorts of things. You never actually let go of the whole junk food type thing. So it's really easy to sort of slip into those habits again. So I did have some success the first time round, but then this time, which has only been since February this year, I've been trying to cut out processed foods generally. I ate a twirl the other day. I don't care. I was hungry. I wanted some chocolate. Yeah. But generally, I'll eat. And
a lot of people who sort of get bigger in their teenage years do it because they're unhappy teenagers. Were you comfort eating?
Absolutely. I'm a massive emotional eater. Even now, when I'm, if I'm stressed at work or, I'm tired out, I'll still think in the back of my mind, oh my God, I would love a pizza. And just sort of sit there and, cry over Grey's Anatomy or something. You do have to kind of deal with the whole psychological aspect as well to lose this sort of weight. I
was going to cry at you for laughing at Grey's Anatomy, and then I remembered a couple of weekends ago I went to see Paranorman with my 8-year-old. I cried during Paranorman. No. There you go. But so you, in terms of diet, then all you've done is cut out processed foods. You've tried to eat more food you've cooked for yourself. You've tried to walk more and just basic exercise, basic gym exercise. No sort of hidden secret, no revolution here, doing the basics.
There kind of is. I mean, the program we're writing. We're trying to write it up for the blog, because the thing about it is it is just walking and resistance training, so it is easy, but it's sort of massively scientific. Like, he's actually got a reason for every single little bit in which order, which is kind of just. I didn't realise how much thought went into even the heart rate thing and doing the resistance training in a certain order. All that is very, very specific. So it is a new thing, but it's just easy.
When you were talking about comfort eating, what was making you unhappy?
Well, it becomes a vicious cycle. It was my weight. So I was miserable because I had poor body image, because I was fat. And, it just spirals. And And, you know, I went through a breakup, and obviously, you know, I'd had all this knee surgery, and I couldn't find a job. And, you know, everything adds up, and you just find yourself kind of making it worse and worse and worse because you keep eating and trying to make yourself feel better and find comfort in something that's just never going to actually give you the fulfillment that you need.
I tell you what, though, it's one thing to face up to these issues in your own life and to recognise you've got a problem, start dealing with it. Quite another, then, to actually put it down in words and write a quite unflinching and self-critical account in a blog. Why did you do that?
Well, it actually started out just to hold myself accountable. I thought if I put it on Facebook, my friends would see it, and then they'd be able to judge me if they saw me kind of diving headfirst into a bowl of fish and chips. But the response was so huge, so fast, that suddenly I was getting all these emails from people who were like, you know, this really helps. I've got this problem, I've got that problem, I can't lose weight, I'm miserable, I'm, you know, all these problems that I kind of felt like I dealt with. And so suddenly it just felt like I had to actually, you know, I really did have this kind of, I needed to be honest, like completely honest, because so many people don't feel like they've got anyone to talk to, and they don't feel like they've got a resource to go to address these issues, which everybody has. You know, I mean, you have to.
It's interesting, though, isn't it? You know, you're a student at Birmingham University. I know you're doing working as well. You're working in marketing, and you know, you obviously got an eye for getting stories out there. But just remarkable, not only in this country, but this sort of international recognition that you've now attracted through the blog.
The USA have been massively, you know, pro Fat Girl PhD, which is just incredible. I think, presumably, at least in part, because, you know, obviously they have a big obesity problem as well. But, you know, to have sort of newspapers in Latvia and things like that is just crazy. But you do realise that it's not, I mean, I say over and over on the blog, it's not just about weight loss. And the people who contact me are from all different cultures, and they're having problems with, you know, body image or weight. They have people with eating disorders, you know, who've got depression, who've got disabilities, and they're from all over the world. And it's sort of incredible to me that, you know, anybody's interested in my life. But if, you know, if they are and what I say can help, then I'll tell them everything they want to know.
Well, you've touched a nerve clearly internationally, and I think it does you great credit. And as I say, I don't want to say it too much because I'll sound like a bit of a critic, but you are a beautiful woman, and I think, you know, the struggle, the battle has paid off. I'm sure you were very beautiful when you were 9 stone, you know, but I have to be careful what I say now. But Fat Girl PhD, the title of the blog tells it like it is. The blog tells it like it is. And having heard you chat now, Katie, I'm not surprised that it's got an international following, because it's honest, it's funny, it's like you.
Thank you so much.
There you go. Get out the studio now.
Thank you.
There's Katie. What a lovely person. And it is called, if you want to just check it out yourself, and I'd recommend that you do, the blog is called, just put into your search engine, Fat Girl PhD, P, small h and a D, and you will get to it. She's a student at Birmingham University. Her fame is going around the world. Really appreciate your time, Katie.
Thank you very much.
BBC WM, the time now is 13 minutes to 12, the voice of Birmingham and the Black Country.